See this mic on here? All right, well, let's get started. See, economic calendar. Yeah, today we have a bunch of news events. We've got these are all Pacific time. So I know we've got FOMC at 11. We've got FOMC at 11 and something at 11:30. We've got a bunch of fuel related. We've got a bunch of fuel related stuff going on here. New home sales. Those numbers are probably pretty bad. And got a bunch of fuel related stuff and then FOMC. So around 7:30, got that. Got new home sales in 30 minutes. So kind of after all this stuff cools down, I don't know, we'll just see how it plays because it's kind of don't want to be there when the high volatility expected stuff goes off. We'll see, we have a little bit of time here after this goes off, or sometimes it could just take a few minutes, but just keep an eye on what's happening here. And this did some weird stuff overnight. See, we ended up there yesterday, and that was the end of that session. Yeah, it's like the end of the session, we were up here, and then overnight came back, tested all this volume. And we're kind of here, seeing if this can continue up, or possible that could get price coming down to here. 80.50. That's possible. Do we have on these other ones? Do we have on these other ones? So we've got this big area down here. See if Tradeovate's doing something weird. Looks like they're both still connected. So it looks like I'm okay for right now. Well, NQ just dropped pretty intensely here. Damn it. Screwed up. Cigar here. And maybe it's not too bad. Okay, so like I was saying, we're looking at economic calendar, and we've got all these news events coming up in an hour, and then the thing at 11 Pacific time. All right. And yeah, so I need this to develop more before I have any real good context of what's up with it. It's testing all this volume. Had a lot of activity around here, so it is hard to tell. Like yesterday, it was just crystal clear to me. It was going up, and we had these two volume areas there. The NQ it could take a pretty significant dump down to this area, and then this area here is where there's more volume. Or going up, there would be this volume up here to test again. And above that, I have no idea. This trade of 8 won't go back that far historically. Hope my mic is working decent on here. Let's see what our buddies in the traders lab are looking at. Yep, there's Boomer. He's looking at the same thing as me. And well, we're just gonna have to see how this day develops. It's only been open 11 minutes, so I can't really make too much out of it yet. But higher time frame, I would still say why did it turn this purple? I didn't want that purple. What is it? The VWAP, I want my price. Where's my price? Oh, this thing got all weird on me now. Because where's my price line? These other two have it. Damn it. My God, do I really have to put this back in here? I gotta figure out how to get my line back. I don't know why it disappeared on me. What the? Well, I'm gonna have to restart that. I don't know what made that go all funky here. Hope I got my lines back. That was some kind of error. I don't know what's up with that. So I would still kind of see these as a Now we're right near the value area high of this consolidation here. I go back maybe a little further to include the whole thing. Wonder if that'll change anything. That could include some of that. Okay, so this this is a high volume area of this whole thing. I've got down here, that was a previous one, and oh, what's this showing here? This is showing us might make that line a little thicker right there. Yep, I got them all with brackets. I'm gonna have these all ready to go, just in case I want to do something. I've got brackets on there. I've got brackets in there so I can move my stops to where I want them. And this could be high volume retest and up. And then what is this liquidity here coming down? And do I want to get myself into any positions when I know that 12 minutes from now I've got a news event? And I have no idea whether, how significant that news event's going to be. It could, there's a lot of these news events, doesn't really change what the market's doing. I generally try to just say, I don't want to be in the market during these news events. But particularly during FOMC, that's one I don't want to mess around with. I want to observe it and can kind of put together in your head, how are these geopolitical events affecting things. And you see here's some high volume, and that's one possible scenario. There is get a retest of this 617. This kind of showing a higher low, taking out all these retail stops. Point of control shifted down here. Sometimes we'll just see a little pullback and then continuation down. So if the NQ is made up of a lot of the same companies that the S&P has, then I would generally figure they're going to kind of move in a similar way. RTY is based on a whole different group of companies. The 2,000 smaller cap companies, and Of course, we all know the ES, it's the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. Yeah, for this one, I don't know, because there's like a NASDAQ 100, and generally, you have a lot of the same companies in the three major indexes, ES, NQ, and YM, the Dow Jones. It's the top 33 companies, I think. So this kind of showing still support for going down. And we're testing right on this VPOC of all this. These are all within each other's range, so I'm just including them in the volume profile drawing tool. And this dash line is our point of control right here. Around 87. Oh, what is this? 87.50. Yeah, right around 87.50. So we're going to see, do we find support here at this point of control and continue up? This would kind of support, hey, that could be the case right here. And you're testing a lot of this. You're testing a little bit of that overnight volume. So this is going back on 440, a decent amount of time. Wonder if I can get this to give me more. I guess maybe it's not going to do that. It's hit or miss. Sometimes I'll actually get that. There's one time I got multiple days back, and I was wondering, what's that all about? It's interesting. It's kind of nice to have it. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll actually go back here. Let's see what it does. Okay, I guess it ain't going back. Yeah, it's not going to let me go back. I guess I don't have that rhythmic thing activated or whatever. Yeah, so the market is just there's a possibility where it's just sideways with not much I can get into. Well, because of price coming out of here, that's would show me, oh, all this was the bargain bin discount part of the store. And but now you're just starting to get mean reversion. You're right around to where the retail price of all this stuff is, or right around to 87.50. So go back, everything is still pretty strongly supporting the idea that this is all just going up. Oh, I have all sorts of stuff from way back down low here. So are we just continuing up? This could be where price for a while it's gonna, or it could be at the end of this run that went for maybe 2 weeks, the beginning of July. I've been here since there's the 10th, so this is be the end of that little 2-week run right there. This was kind of extreme when that happened. That may have been another FOMC thing. Forget what happened that day. But, same idea, we're drawing boxes around our high volume and going, okay, that could be places where price could, you want to watch here in Bookmap and the order flow, what's happening when you get to these boxes, because there's high volume where I'm drawing them. And a lot of times, I don't like that I can just accidentally click on them like that and they move. That kind of doesn't help me out. So I would be more inclined to say, okay, if it's getting support right there, that we would just keep going higher. You have a double top. A lot of times those can, maybe it has more significance on a higher time frame. But a lot of times they say, well, price got here twice, so that's not that strong of a price for the sellers. That could show the price could keep going further up, but all we can do is narrate the auction right now, and 3 minutes until new home sales. Oh no, now it says 2 minutes. So I wouldn't want to get in before a news event where it's saying high volatility expected. I don't know if it actually will do something that's a big deal or not. During the FOMC stuff, I really want to stay the hell out. I want nothing to do with it. I want to be flat during that time. So here we can take kind of that same concept of drawing these rectangles. And I wish these would give you a continuous rectangle, but it's not really on the developer's queue. I put that in there before, saying, oh, I'd really like a rectangle that'll just, if you can have shapes where it'll go, it could just extend them to the right or the left. Well, this cigar turned out to not be one of my cheaper bargain bin cigars, and it's kind of took the band off and it took part of the wrapper off. It's burning all crooked, so it might not last too long. Huh. Yep, just waiting still. Is this price too low? Is this one here? Draw a rectangle here between these points of control. Kind of makes you a box. Here's where a lot of volume is. And this really did look like it could continue lower there, but guess we're coming up to test the price. I think this might have some kind of value because you got these different points of control here. And this is coming up to test where it's at. A lot of indecision here, and the point of control not, so you have kind of a tight range where the high volume is. And now we have this point of control down here. So I guess, yeah, see it's got to get above here and probably retest that to be like, is this going to go higher or not? Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about the drawing tools here is I should be able to do something to extend this rectangle so it can go further. Should be able to. It's a pretty basic thing a lot of people might want to do. They might want to draw a value area, or where were these two VPOCs? Draw a rectangle there. It's like a price box in here almost on a smaller time frame or fractal. I wish I could have a little background music on here as something. It's not just quiet a lot. I'd have to find something where YouTube isn't gonna try to hit me with a copyright thing and mess with my account, not let me post videos and stuff. So let's see what the economic calendar is saying. Yep, I knew these new home sales were going to be bad. This is who's going to buy a new home right now unless they're really backed into a corner. Real estate prices are insane. Who's going to do that? So that's down quite a bit. Look, the forecast. Look how much it's down. So that's pretty bad. You know, who's going to buy a house right now, really? Like you'd really have to be backed in a corner if you're going to buy a house right now at all-time highs. Hope the prices come down, or I might not be able to ever have a house. I might not ever want a house, maybe just a small condo. Or hell, get Starlink and get one of those uh, get an RV to live in. Move with the weather. When it gets too hot or cold, move somewhere else nicer. That'd be great. Yeah. So next thing is 7:30. We're going to be looking for these. What's going to happen with that? See this new home sales. What did it do? It was like not happen at 7. Nasdaq didn't really care. Look at that. ES didn't really matter. Not much of anything happened when that news report came out, so I don't know about these. Everybody's got their eye on this FOMC. That's the big deal. So that's where we're keeping the eye on the ball. Okay, now we see on NASDAQ, this is kind of got this high volume area, and it's coming back down, showing, okay, maybe that's too expensive, but this could also be, you know, could end up with stops down here. See a lot of this bracketing going on. There could be some stops down here below all this, which we know are common retail targets. And this here could be showing that it makes sense to me. The NASDAQ, if it doesn't go up, I don't know if ES would go up. You have a lot of the same companies. This has some other companies that NASDAQ doesn't have, but the big ones, you know, Apple and Meta and Amazon and Google and Microsoft, Tesla. I think Tesla's in the S&P. I know they're in NASDAQ. I got a question here. I was waiting to see if we've got JTrader's stream on here. Okay, well, yeah, anybody interested? I think, pretty sure JTrader's on right now. Bookmap. So we're stuck right in here in this volume, and we've got more news events coming up not too long from now. So I don't want to be anywhere near news events. Although, and this is where you really want to keep out of it. This could just be wild from 11 up until the close, where you don't want to get anywhere near that. And what is RTY doing? See, I can... Well, we've had the most volume up here, so it might be okay to draw a rectangle going from here to there. Could be this is getting to where, okay, sellers are going, okay, well, we're... Want to see how it reacts here or here. Maybe my volume dots are a little too big, a little too transparent. See a little bit better like that. I like having them a little transparent so I can see the line underneath. We have, it's the point of control, 8750. I see anything interesting with any other ones? Well, got 9680. This kind of looks like it could be, looks like it tested up a little. We've got that. And then if it tests here again, it could bounce again. Or maybe it's not so clear. So you got up there in 1998, 1998-ish, 94 to 90, yeah, 94 to 2001. That's kind of where you got some volume there. Something could happen. I'll blow this up and draw a rectangle here. So I kind of be looking at, you can see why I draw the volume. You got multiple things with volume here. This could be going, gonna extend that. See, that's what I want on these bookmap rectangles, you know, just extend them indefinitely. Because then I have to do this. I have to right click, I have to drag, and I have to try to get the thing to go as far as I can get it. Then I have to keep dragging it, click and drag, and that can mess up these. Then I have to go back and adjust them. It's like the one drawing feature that'd really be like a big deal to me would be, you know, possibly regression channels, but that's more based on math. It has more to do with you're doing VWAP related stuff. That goes along with more VWAP related stuff if you have a standard deviation with a regression channel. This is just retail price here. It went back, it explored lower. Point of control shifted up back into all of this volume here. And what is this showing? RTY. Gotta see, it could bounce around in here for quite a while. And I mean, you see sellers. What do you have? You have sellers. You got sellers. Got a little exhaustion. Might mean nothing. We know there's going to be stops below the mid and all that. And going lower, what do we have? Got this. Well, this volume was tested again from below on the way back up. You can see here overnight, the gray ones are overnight, and the blue and turquoise is your RTH session. So gray ETH session, blue and turquoise RTH session. Well, I hope this cigar doesn't start burning all weird on one side. I hate it when that happens, but might still a decent cigar at this point. So we're looking at what's all this up here, and then down here we already know about that. You've got these 2 points, so bounce, 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 bounce. Got this area going down, so we've got 2 areas of volume. You've got this volume. You know, let's just draw a rectangle there and see how that kind of. What does that look like when I do a rectangle? I could do something like that. And see, it's kind of testing, you know, is this too low of a price? Is all this too low of a price? And we're at the value area high of this whole thing here. And these are all within the same range. So I could almost go, if I can ever click on the thing, I can go here. And where else? Go here. Come on. Okay, oh yeah, okay, so it's tracking the current. So RTY you'd be looking at 7710. And but you know, we love ES. It's a lot of people's bread and butter. Oh, we see it holding above this point of control here, and this is the point of control since the 18th. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is over a week. We've been kind of in the same range for over a week. Everybody knows the FOMC is happening today. Higher time frame, we still are looking at up. Although the fact that this got a double top here. So we've got double top. And some might say, oh, you got double top there. Well, maybe this is turning into a cup and handle. So you get a little cup and handle, and you've got 3 points of contact. Then it could go up. I don't know if there's any statistical edge to that. That's something a lot of retailers look at, is patterns, which is fine. If you've got the statistics, you know, go for it. That's all fine. Got any kind of an edge, you just do it. and another day at the office and you do it, and you either take the money home or you don't. If you have good statistics, you'll say, "Here's the thing I do it," and then you do it. Could be a bunch of dead ends. I'm all structured on the Traders Lab stuff with Tom B. That guy's like a genius. 43 years. That's went through a lot of pain to get to where he's at. So I want to take advantage of that knowledge, reduce the learning curve myself, so I got a chance to survive in this. It's a great time to trade. You can do all these prop firms and got all this sophisticated software. It's a great time to be a trader. You've got Bookmap. This is cutting edge. I mean, we're talking MBO orders, liquidity. It's a historical dome. Got all the volume. Got everything here. Got everything. This is all cutting edge. A lot of people, they're stuck not even on this. They're just looking. They don't even have a chart as good as this. They're looking at candles on a volume profile chart, and they're not seeing all of this stuff going on. This is the real market here in Bookmap, people. This is where it's all happening. Your intraday, you're operating in here. This is all just going, oh, here's places where there's previously volume. Maybe we can go there. That's all that is. Surprisingly here, RTY made a turnaround. They're going, well, this is where we want to buy, so the bias is kind of going up. And the NASDAQ kind of looks like it's going down. Does it want to go back where the high volume was? Does this want to go back where the high volume? This is net right now, it's right where the high volume is. You had down here, and I don't know, this could be, well, it looks like somebody added a big order. I think that's another 503 added by 2 participants. It's a big order. That's would have to be, it's a lot of, I don't think that's a regular retail trader if that's 500 contracts on the ES. That's millions and millions of dollars of notional value. So I don't think that's your typical retail trader. All right. I mean, this coming down here, it's testing where there was previously high volume, and it could be going, well, this is cheap here, and we got stop divergence. We're saying there's a bunch of stops. There's less stops for NASDAQ. NASDAQ goes up, we've got a pretty good chance ES will go up. Because they're derivatives, they're part of the same, a lot of the same companies are part of it. Okay, I'll put these on here. If this is going to be too cluttered and stuff, I'm going to turn it back off. So this is going to come up and you're going to see the correlation thing. What is that? Purple. Purple is RTY. That's RTY. And where's our pink one? See, our pink one, you can, it's basically just moving right along with whatever the ES is doing. Sometimes you'll see RTY is moving around a little different. But for right now, and what's going to happen right there? And what happened there? This must have been some data cut off. Suppose that's probably right where I clicked the button to turn the thing on. So you see kind of how NASDAQ kind of just has the same shit. You can zoom out, you kind of see how they have this similar shape here. So not a huge difference. This looks, RTY looks like something else compared to these two. Look how similar ES and Q are versus RTY, because this has different companies. These two have a lot of the same underlying companies. So this, if this, went up here, tested that, you've got VPOC shifting, you've got retail stops getting taken here, 703, 140. So you've got some of these stops, they're triggering. This can always go lower. There's an outside edge. There's an outside edge of that, of this volume profile. So we have there's where we open. This is kind of making some stairs. And we're moving up the stairs where it's going, okay, price is being accepted higher. Here's kind of what you're looking at overnight. Though you do have for overnight, so you've got there overnight, you've got that volume point of control. I might want to check these settings for a second here. No, that's my daily. I want the, let's look at it on the ETH thing. Yeah, point of control, it won't let me adjust the thickness of the line. I wanted to make this something a little bit different. Get a little bit thicker line and dash it. So if you can't, some would say, you know, it looks like a flag pattern. Um, 8750, that's what you're looking at. Can 8750 hold? And see, that's right where we have our line too. So this 8750 is the point of control for this. We're sitting right on the point of control for the last 6 days. Which the number of days isn't too a real tremendous thing. But I hate it when cigars do this. They burn unevenly on one side. And then gotta light them up again and try to fix it. What I get for getting the cheaper cigars. And oh, I got a little treat later. I got this Tony's chocolate. It's got Ben and Jerry's brownie bites in them. Might have that later. Saw that at the store yesterday. I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. So you've got a little outside edge here. You've got, see, here's a little high volume node. This is, so at the moment that's saying, okay, it's a little too high. Comes down here, we're like, okay, could this whole thing be too expensive? And then we're looking at somewhere down here. It's fractal, this is up higher, this is down smaller. And you know, then I try to keep my my stuff in mind, you know, with the let me see if I can find the thing you've all seen at the Tom's Pyramid. It should, that trading hierarchy, trading process hierarchy. Little triangle that Tom puts up. Oh, well, I can't find the thing. Where is it? I don't see it there. I'm not going to dig around in my folder here. Try to bring that up. You all seen that trading process hierarchy. auction market theory, down to volume profile, down to time frame, context, and then the order flow and book mail. So this is closer towards the bottom of the pyramid. It's all fractal. And the order flow, that's where we operate. That's our time frame. That's where we really operate from. And it's the tip of the spear. And showing you this is everything going on in the market right now, particularly if you got the MBOs with the icebergs and the stops. And this VPOC just shifted. So I guess that could be showing, you know, it's just in this iffy place. I see both sides of the thing, and I don't really see the context. So NQ is just kind of still that, you know, this could be where you take some stops out. You're testing right around here. 15,600 could go up. This failed to support here at the point of control, so I would figure, you know, could come down somewhere into here and here, and then we could possibly have a very outsized, very large move when the FOMC meeting comes around. So I've got all these numbers now. 730's over. Oh, it should draw my points of, it should draw my, you're in the middle here, so we've got, where was 730? 730's here, so I'm going to do my lines. So there's one, and there's that. And that correlation, that's just too much stuff. I'm going to turn that thing off. Too much stuff on the chart to look at. It's distracting. Okay, so it looks like this is your volume point of control. For this balance here, where you've got 3 days and they're all overlapping. It's 3 overlapping days, so. And I think it lines up with another one even further back. Not mistaken here. Well, that's too far. How far can I go back on here? This thing is all funky with me trying to zoom out. Yeah, see, decent software from this place, but it's got its limitations. But you can connect a trading view to it. which it's here is kind of a mixed bag. I don't know if I want to. Might be worth doing the trial. Thinkorswim was just for volume profile. It's not that great. This is way better volume profile than what Thinkorswim has. So NQ is kind of showing, you know, is this volume too high? And you have this, you know, crept down, oh, lower test. Higher, higher. Oops, looks like this is, could be too high. And this is still kind of, you had buyers in control here, they kind of fizzle out. Now you're seeing a lot more buyers come on. But we're still, you know, that it makes it past here. Down. Let's see if these filled, if you got some fills here, that could turn it around. So you could have some bids filled. Let's see if we got bids. Just fill up any bids, or did it like pull right at the end? Well, it looks like it transacted here. However, I don't. Oh, let's see the absorption. Do I have the absorptions? I got absorptions on. I took off sweeps because I'm looking at too much stuff. This is kind of, it's not too much, I can still read it. But we've got fills here. Got a bunch of fills here. That could be a bunch of take profits of sellers. And a very small, well, if they're up here, you know, that could be, they could be going, okay, shorts. Could be shorts taking profits from up here. You know, now it got a higher low. But it's all iffy, you know, is this setting up for an IBF or for continuation down? And this is, I don't know, because NQ is heading south, so I'm looking at NQ coming down, and you know, this could be like a magnet that can add a bunch of these and then just pull, pull, pull. And they want to get filled somewhere lower. So overnight, the trend has been down on ES. Now we have this volume roughly, can call it whatever, you know, right here. Well, yeah, that's why I drew that box. You've got this, you've got this volume too. And you got that. And this is one spot here. What is that? 8250. And you're seeing some. Look at this. Look at that liquidity. So other people are looking at that maybe with volume profile. I don't know. But that's where there previously was some volume right there, 8250. You see it on the book. But we've got plenty of places going lower. It could be in preparation for a big old jump. Either way with FOMC. So it's just like I do these streams, and then it's like I don't have that great of a day to actually get in and do something. Yeah, I guess somewhere to get up higher we have to have fuel. Bid orders executing for us to go back up. This all filled, and it's not. It can wiggle around a while before it turns around. If that makes any sense. So now we're going in here. What happens when we see these? So we had a thick wall of orders here, and you zoom out. What do we have stuff lower? This isn't really giving you all that much. You've got outside liquidity, so you know, way further out in the book, you've got more down here than you've got up here. So it could be go down here to get up here. What do we have at 70? It's another high volume node at 70. And then you've got all this here. But then you've got this down at 50. So quite a ways down. Would this want to go down 34 points? It could be, we're looking at south, and then this could be your next big consolidation here. But you've got this. So these are all three of these, and I'm kind of clumping all these together. So that 8750 might not mean much, but you see how it reacted here, where the points of control were, where I drew the rectangle. You've got your IB stat right at around at 85. So I'd be looking more at the IBC. And with NASDAQ going down, I don't see that as a... You've got a lot of these same companies. This one makes bigger moves. Typically, got NASDAQ. It has more numbers, so it's just more range. So this one can move around quite a bit more. And RTY, it's sitting right there. Oh, and look at the triangle, the rectangle it made. It's just, you're going back and forth with your volume point of control. And gonna stretch that rectangle out. I wish Bookmap would fix that drawing tool. That should have been like an out-of-the-box thing. Do you want to extend whatever your drawing is, left or right? So, I mean, this is, you can't hold here at this point of control. That would tell me, could make it down to 72 or something. Keep getting these coming up, but if they fill, then you have a bunch of bids that have gotten filled, which somebody wants to buy at these prices or get out of their shorts at these places, but they can pull. And then you're going, are they pulling? Like here, it just pulled. It pulled right before it could execute. You can get algos to be like, okay, going to pull right before the price moves. Or that could be real people backing out. It's a lot of bids. It's a lot right there. I don't know if it could just be a whole bunch of retailers clumped together. I guess that scenario, which is a little tough to read, but once it got down here, we've retested up here, and this is kind of telling you that this, along with the Nasdaq, is kind of telling you, hey, this is pointing south, but it's not. I guess mentally, I'm just like, oh, do I want to do anything because of FOMC? There's some people they don't even want to trade at all on the FOMC day. Because it can just whip around so violently during the FOMC meeting that you really don't want to mess with it. So we see a lot of the same behavior where it's fractal, and you can see it happening on here up higher. Your bird's eye view up in the sky. This is down with the microscope. And the market can always do anything. It can, especially FOMC, you have different types of investors getting in there. Might not be operating on a intraday time frame. And NASDAQ is just taking a big old dump. Let's go back here, and NASDAQ can, they're 461, so it could come down another 40, 50 points. Or this could be where it finally tries to go up. Got that point of control, and that would have to be my best guess of where can this end up. NASDAQ has quite a ways it could fall, and ES does too. That's just a little blip on the way. Here's the more major thing that could get retested. But this could be a little roadblock on the way down. So I mean, we could end up seeing, going down, down, down. Just a bunch of pulls, pulls, pulls. Pull these out before they get transacted. Anything getting transacted, or they just pull. So some got activated here. Back to right now. Okay, well, you got fills here. And what's happening to the stop? Less stops, less stops, less stops. We're seeing more buyer aggression. And what do we know is up above here we got retail stops. But everything's still pointing down. So it could just be a little counter rotation, continuation on down. So do I have anything to do yet? I'm still observing it. RTY kind of looks like, hey, maybe RTY is going to go up while this stuff is going down. This looks to have a much more structure of this pointing towards it going up. And we have this volume here up in the 97, 96, 97-ish range. So good. I mean, so if you could touch the point of control here, that could be retest of a high volume and moving on up. Oh. Well, what are we looking at? Yeah, just chilling, waiting for what's going on. And see, because of how NASDAQ's moving, I'm just like, oh, I don't know about anything going long. We've got targets down, we've got targets that were already tested up. And these were already tested down, but I only went really back into this area twice. So if we have longs for these last couple of days, couldn't the longs be on the hook and you have stops somewhere where these high volume areas are at? That makes sense to me. Maybe have some stops, right below where these volumes are, volume boxes. So you have a decent sized volume node there. This was all low volume that day, went up, made a big move. Okay, why don't you zoom to ES so we can see in detail? Okay. Okay, I'll zoom this up here. Because the order flow, I guess the order flow, I'm not going to get into anything right now, I don't think. So, got this volume here. And we're here right now. And it's sitting right on top of these value area highs. This was already tested before. And this point of control price didn't hold there. That's the point of control for this whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 7 days so far. So we have this void right here. Got that high volume. Got kind of a void right here, but still within this value area. So got value area low there. So maybe that could be stops. Maybe come down to here. Could have stops kind of all around here. People could move to their stops up to here thinking, oh, we're safe. But that makes sense. Who's on the hook? So far, we go back a week. We haven't had anything come back here, so there could be stops all up in this thing. Stops all up in this. Just hard to, I'm ambivalent about all of it. Have to see two different sides of the same thing, so that gets me a little caught up sometimes. And I didn't sleep very well at all, so it doesn't make me feel so good. Blow up ES here. So that's a little something. Why did it jump up all of a sudden? And there, I think you've got this could be important. How did what filled? So you got some bids filled. Got a little bit of bids filled. These places. There's some bids right there. They go right in. Yeah, some of this transacted. So you've got some of these bid liquidities and they transacted. So, and I think, I'll keep this stream going for another 19 minutes here. So I want to go watch Tom B on the Bookmap YouTube channel do his live stream that he does every day. Last week he was off, so I did a little bit longer stream than I normally would. But this is good practice for me to, it's helping me develop myself better. I'm working on stuff like this, narrating it. The streaming forces me to narrate more. I think that helps a lot. So a lot of times I'll just sit here quietly and I'm not getting the words out of my mouth narrating it. And there's that protege effect I keep talking about. The Bookmap Discord. And I don't know this buyers sellers percentages. I don't know what that is. So I mean, we still have all of our volume up here, and It's made in IBC, but we've gotten bid fills, and we have various stops and things up here. Could be entries on the way down here, and now this is all clearing up. So a lot of so we're really going to be looking for, what happens when we get right here. And we had high liquidity, and that's gone. Some of it was filled, and nothing here is filled. This could be longs, and it's getting in somewhere here. The icebergs, I don't know what could be up. Got a lot of icebergs here, and you got bids filling, so this could be a potential turnaround, but it takes a while to turn around sometimes. It's not good to go off alone. Now we have 343, and we're getting less and less stops here. Some pretty big buy ice going on. You can see, it's just going down into the buy ice. And I've got here more buy ice. So some of this buy ice could be transacted into, ready for a turnaround. And that, can I say the context is really down? It's kind of mean reversion, really. A little bit tough to stay aligned with, but then you have how NQ is acting. But you have a lot of bids going off here. A lot of stops fired off. So I'm just trying to stay in the alignment with it. And I might not have a chance to really execute anything on here before 8:30, but I think I'm doing all right with the narration portion of it. Got 3 hours till FOMC. So where's the fuel? Could be more fuel. I don't know how much fuel can be up here. Nobody does. Could be that still have volume here to retest and stops potentially. So it could be, we come down, and then that could be fuel for like right around FOMC time. Will have dropped considerably. Then it could go up. Because there are a lot of longs on the hook, going back pretty far. And this is a high volume of these 3 days right here. It kind of looks like we had, a lot of these days had less volume than these ones. Do I have any way to tell here? I'm trying to look at this thing. I have a hard time telling, we have low volume. I mean, do these days have more volume than these days? I'm having a hard time telling. know if we're getting back into here. I guess I could change that a little bit. There's your there it is, and really wish Bookmap would fix that, where you can just extend your rectangles and whatever. You can do it for lines. So I know they could do it for rectangles. This does show some signs of okay, still got sell aggressor, but they're not pushing the price lower. So sometimes you're just looking at ES and maybe it's not the best thing. So I got these other markets up. Seeing a lot of aggression here from the buyers. We have a higher percentage of buyers here. And this all seemed to just drop. So oh geez, I'm tired. It's gonna be a struggle today to stay up. Only got about 4 hours of sleep and it was real hot. So it's been like 110 degrees out here every day. So it's not the greatest. At least it's not humid and hot like that Texas heat. Oh man, that's a whole nother thing when you got 100-degree temperatures and you got like 50–60% humidity. Or perhaps, this could be that HVN. Here's your HVN coming back retesting down. And this further back. Well, this all would suggest to me, retest. You got an IBC there. You have another IBC down. See, it's just there's too much on both sides, and it's kind of a mean reversion-ish. See, we're right in this area. Got mean reversions there, so it's kind of in a nasty area. I don't. If it's not crystal clear like yesterday, this would have been a good stream for me to do yesterday, but I was watching other people's streams. But made some decent trades on here. This was just more clear cut, and then once we hit that, it was more like, okay, it's pretty clear it was long. And this could be continuing to go short. So, and then when you're in the state of mind where you're tired because you haven't gotten enough sleep, you're going, okay, am I going to make the best decisions here? Because you can't think that well with that unless you're well rested. Which, oh, I hope I can stay awake until 1 p.m. But, I guess it's okay to just sit out on FOMC days. Unless you can really clearly see what's going on. There's so much volatility on an FOMC day, just to get whipsawed around. But you see that here's, you have a big iceberg order that went off, where the green is. Now you're seeing more buyer aggression after there's this green ice that went off. Starting to see some stop divergence, but that could mean nothing. It could go down lower. It's the order flow, we're not really seeing much. It looks almost like the the end of contract algo brackets. That last week before settlement. You have the contracts, does a weird looking thing. It can be hard to read. So those are tough times, FOMC days and then expiration weeks. Those are hard. The quad witching, the quad witching, it's kind of like, ugh. Just not, you could just watch it that day to get some popcorn. So hopefully my narration is decent, makes sense what I'm saying. It's it's all really based off of and the analysis I'm doing. It's all based off Tom B and also Bruce. See, here I am. Yesterday posted something here. Got some trades I did. It was a lot easier to read this auction yesterday. A lot of what I do, it's based on Tom B and what Bruce is doing. It's like Tom's having some bad weather in Chicago there. Hopefully, still get a stream today. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna have to end this in just a few minutes right here. Let's see, we're looking at that. Does this? We're getting a higher low after a little movement. Had a bunch of buy stops going off. I mean, this could be testing lower just to squeeze stops out. They're below where all this main volume was. is just have an entry to go up. But, eyes on the prize, we're looking at FOMC. From what I've seen previously, a lot of FOMC days, they're trying to get where there's fuel. Then you got a big old move. So just 2 minutes here, and then I'm going to switch over to watching Tom B and Bookmap. That's free for anybody in the Bookmap Discord. He's going to be coming on here in 2 minutes. I hope his power doesn't go out so I get to watch the whole thing. That really sucks having her. That's one thing about Vegas, it's power's always on. I don't even know the last time the power went out. It's been years and years and years. Never had the power go out here. So anyway, this could just be a day of let's see, this could be set up for IBF, but that sure isn't much range to work with, and it would have to go way up for there to be any reason to want to do it. Alright, so anyway, okay, it's 8:30 now, so Tom's gonna come on, so I'm gonna end this stream, and I keep an eye on you guys here. I've got this thing, and I can see what's going on in here. So I got a few people watching, so thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you guys watching and your comments and stuff that you leave me, and I look at all those, and hope you all have a great day, and I'll get back in here tomorrow, do another stream. So good luck to you all, and have a good day.